Recently, I've been reading a book called Practicing Radical Honesty by Brad Blanton, PhD. And basically, the premise of this book is that we pretty much all lie to each other. The way we've grown up has taught us to lie to each other. All of our institutions, corporations, governments, everything, they basically exist because of the nature of our lying to one another as humans. And so the book proposes a way to escape this habit of lying that each of us has, which now he's a psychologist and he's been doing this for decades, but he puts on workshops in which he takes people through a process on a group level to where they can become radically honest with each other and radically honest with the people that are in their lives on a regular basis. And essentially, a lot of it has to do with us confronting our fears that keep us from telling the truth. But one of the things that he brings up in this book that I found very interesting, and I've thought about it before, but he brings it to the forefront, and that is that as we are observing our thoughts, as we're observing the things around us, for example, in any given moment, when you are experiencing life, each of us is experiencing life from moment to moment to moment. We have one stream of moments that we are basically living in. As soon as we live the moment, it's gone, and it is now in our past. And anything that we reflect on in the past is not living the moment that's now, but it's trying to relive the old memory, or it's basically reminiscing. Thoughts about the future are essentially just escaping the present to think about the future, whether it's a goal or even a worry or something like that. And the idea behind what he brings to the forefront is that becoming present enables you to be totally creative. But it's this lying that keeps us from really enjoying that moment-to-moment living and that creativity. And specifically, what I found interesting as I began to observe for myself the truth of this is that we often don't genuinely live in the moment. We typically filter each moment with our thoughts about the moment. It would be like something that I brought up in the past, where instead of actually being in a ship on the ocean, feeling the breeze in your face, somebody takes a picture of it and sends it to you. And then you look at that picture and imagine being there. And that's how we do things in our life. We, even though we may be feeling sensations, like feeling the sensation of the wind on our face, or we're hearing our breath as we're walking or running, and we're seeing things around us, houses, trees, clouds, rain, lawns, whatever, the landscape around us. Whenever those images, those sounds, those sensations, those smells, the tastes, the touches that we feel, when those things come into our experience, most of the time they are not genuinely experienced. they are filtered by our thoughts about them. Check this out for yourself, because I was doing it, and as I was just sitting to experience life and just kind of getting into a zoned out state of just experiencing, what I notice is that these thoughts come up, thoughts about what I'm experiencing. So instead of just genuinely being in the moment and experiencing it, I'm actually thinking about the experience, letting my mind interpret the experience, maybe making a judgment about the experience, like it's, oh, this is really good, it feels great, or this is bad. All those judgments about it are all mental things that come after the actual experience. So instead of living in the moment, I'm creating judgments that are actually after the fact about the moment I just experienced. So that then keeps me from actually enjoying being here right now. And as I thought about that, I was like, shit, when do I ever really get into the moment and totally let it absorb me? Now, I know specific instances when this happens. And one of them is when I go out dancing. And I think that's why I enjoy dancing so much, is because I will get caught up in the experience of the music. And at that point, I'm not judging anything. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just letting the music move me. And it's in those moments when I feel like it doesn't matter what's going on around me. It doesn't matter what is happening in the world. It doesn't matter what my thoughts are doing. All that matters is the feeling of being in the moment with that music and the movement of my body as a response to that. Now, Brad Blanton basically proposes that each of us meditate as a part of our becoming more radically honest. And meditation is one of those ways in which you basically sit and become still until the mind simply stops chattering so much. Or at least while it is chattering, you're simply observing the chatter and not making judgments of it, but just watching it. So whether you meditate or not, meditation is probably a good practice. Whether you do it or not, you can observe each moment that you think about observing it. You can observe your mind saying things, coming up with reasons for things, excuses, judgments about whatever it is you're experiencing. And you can observe those things and start to see them as if you're an outsider, like, what is this mind doing? Is this really me? Or is this something else that's creating these judgments? Creating these descriptions or this narration of whatever it is I'm experiencing. Why does it need to be narrated? Why can't I just experience it through my senses and feel that experience without having the mind go into some kind of narration of maybe what this is like, or what it's similar to, or whether it's good or not, or whether I wish I was doing something else. So I encourage you to basically look at your own thoughts, and as you experience life, which is moment to moment to moment to moment, take the time to really watch your mind's response to what you're experiencing. And ask yourself if you can let that go. Ask yourself, can I let go of my mind's desire to respond to everything that's going on around me? Can I let go of mental machinations over what I'm seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, and sensing? This mental masturbation, can I let it go and just be in the moment without this filter of the mind getting in the fucking way? Anyway, try this out for yourself over the next few days and see if you don't notice that your mind does the same flippin' thing. That's all for now. Ciao.